Okay, I'm here with...
Some isolated encounters bring a sudden, chilling realization that you are not alone. From unsettling trail camera anomalies and deep nighttime screams, to a ruined car lot and massive Bigfoot tracks. With so much Bigfoot evidence, what is really hiding in the trees? A group of friends in Russia were driving when their car crashed into a truck ahead of them. Moments later, one of the girls began recording the scene on her phone. While filming, the camera captured something unusual near the roadside.
Заблокируй машину, только не дергайте. Да куда заводить? Мы никуда не поедем. Блин, посигнали ему, чтобы он сюда прошел. Да как я по сигнале? Может, он сам сидит на измене. Давайте, пожалуйста, позвоним кому-нибудь ментам или кому-нибудь честно звоните.
In the trees, a large, dark shape appeared, tall with long arms, clearly visible against the tree line. The video ends without explanation. What do you think that figure was? In September 2004, a hiker recorded this video near Hoodoo Creek in eastern Oregon, about 10 miles north of Granite near the North Fork John Day Wilderness. Over 3 days, people camping in the area reported several strange events. On the first day, a large dark figure, estimated to be 7 to 8 feet tall, was seen running downhill through thick brush. On the second day, a reddish upright figure was reportedly spotted following a witness near the campsite. By the third day, branches were thrown downhill and loud screams echoed from a nearby canyon. Some later wondered if the hiker captured the same figure others reported during camping nearby. But what do you think was really moving through those woods? While hiking through the woods, this person encountered something unsettling. Ahead of him, a large brown figure slowly walked up a hill. The hiker quickly recorded the moment before leaving the area as soon as possible. Later, he posted the footage online where viewers questioned its authenticity. Some say strange things like this sometimes appear during remote hiking or camping. But was the figure real or something staged? In late winter, a man was hiking through a remote valley in Colorado, an isolated area far from any homes. While filming the view from a high rocky outcrop, he suddenly noticed something unusual. 2 dark figures were moving across the valley below. They appeared large, with broad shoulders and long arms. Moments later, they disappeared into the trees. Feeling uneasy, the man quickly left the area. Some viewers say strange things like this are sometimes reported by people exploring or camping in remote wilderness. But what do you think those figures really were? In 2009, Justina Fouliar and a friend were filming casual footage in the Tatra Mountains, near a creek along the Poland-Slovakia border. For a while, everything seemed normal. Then Justina suddenly noticed something behind them. A figure was standing silently among the trees. The moment it was seen, whatever or whoever it was quickly disappeared into the forest. The footage is shaky and unclear, but it was recorded in 2009. Some viewers say moments like this sometimes happen during hiking or camping in remote forests. But what do you think was watching them that day? In September 2015, in the small town of Enid, Oklahoma, something strange began happening at a local car dealership called Green Country Ford. Staff arrived to find several vehicles badly damaged. Bumpers and fenders had been torn off, deep bite marks cut into the metal, and clumps of fur with traces of blood were left behind. Police launched an investigation and believed a large white dog might be responsible, but it was hard to explain how an animal could cause that much damage. Despite overnight searches with spotlights and patrols, the animal was never caught, and the attacks continued. More vehicles were damaged, and repair costs quickly rose. People began to whisper about what could be behind it. Some pointed to the strength of the damage and the repeated visits. Others wondered if something else might have been roaming nearby, like stories sometimes shared around quiet towns or camping areas. But what do you think was really responsible? Content creator Keith was alone in the remote wilderness on a solo metal detecting trip. As he moved deeper into the forest, the silence was suddenly broken by something strange.
On my way back.
While heading back, a loud sound echoed through the trees, unlike anything he had heard before. It didn't match any known animal call, and the source never revealed itself. Some viewers say sounds like this are sometimes reported during hiking or camping in remote areas. But if you heard that echo in the woods, what do you think made it? Reddit user Kara8. Bishop was browsing Zillow when she found a listing in New Hampshire, a quiet house deep in the woods. At first, the photos looked normal, but one image seemed strange. In the background, a shape appeared that didn't seem to belong. When she zoomed in, it looked like a figure standing near the property. Some viewers suggested it might be Bigfoot caught in the photo. Others think it was just a trick to draw attention. What do you think that figure really was? This experience happened on May 13th, 2017, at 4:31 p.m. The man had been camping completely off-grid in Barkhead Mountains National Forest near Asheboro, North Carolina. Heavy rain had moved through the area that day, and he was nearly 10 miles from his vehicle. When he first arrived, the parking area was empty with no other vehicles or signs of hikers or campers. While hiking uphill along a steep, muddy trail covered in red Carolina clay, he suddenly noticed something unusual. Pressed into the ground was a trail of large humanoid footprints measuring roughly 15 to 20 inches long. The tracks came from a brush-covered hillside, crossed the trail in front of him, and disappeared into thick forest. At the time, he didn't believe in Bigfoot and assumed there must be a logical explanation. But later that night while camping, he woke to disturbing screams, gurgling noises, and strange moans echoing through the trees. Feeling uneasy, he packed up and left in the dark. Some viewers say strange moments like this sometimes happen during remote camping trips. But what do you think he really heard that night? In 2016, Don Avron was in a wooded area somewhere in the United States, though the exact location was never revealed. While outdoors, he noticed a strange figure ahead of him. The shape did not appear human. It looked larger than normal, with long arms and a slow, lumbering walk. Don recorded a short video before the figure moved out of sight. Later, only a single screenshot from the footage was shared online. Some viewers say moments like this are sometimes reported during remote hiking or camping trips. But if the full video existed, what do you think it might have shown? This video was featured on the Animal Planet show Finding Bigfoot and filmed in a wooded area in Ohio.
We had to get out of here. We're too close.
The footage shows a tall humanoid-shaped figure shaking a tree deep in the forest. As the movement continues, the cameraman slowly moves closer to the scene. Soon after, the recording cuts off with no explanation of what happened next. Some viewers say moments like this happen during remote camping, but what do you think was behind that shaking tree? In 2006, a sister and brother were hiking through forests near Tofino, Canada. While walking deeper through the dense woods, they suddenly noticed something unexpected ahead of them. In the distance, a figure could be seen standing among the trees.
Wait, stay! Stay back!
Later, they described the shape as humanoid, around 7 feet tall and roughly 50 meters away. The footage itself only shows a brief dark figure, which at first glance could resemble a bear. However, the siblings say the figure moved away almost immediately after the camera was raised. They also insist its movement didn't match that of a bear. What do you think they really saw standing in those woods that day? These two photos were taken by different people at different times in Virginia and were recently shared on Reddit. Many commenters noticed how similar the figures looked, with some suggesting it could even be the same Bigfoot appearing in both images. Others disagreed, saying the first photo clearly resembled a black bear. The lower image was described as blurry and unclear, making it harder to judge. Several users with wildlife experience explained that both pictures matched the appearance and movement of a young black bear, possibly with summer fur or mange. They also noted that bears can look surprisingly human-like when standing or stretching. Because of this, most people concluded the images likely show bears, not Bigfoot. What do you think the figures in those photos really were? A man was working on his property while his children played nearby. During that time, they noticed movement behind a cactus at the edge of the yard.
That's that sun is over here.
was saying, this is a cactus. Yo, I saw something, didn't you? Like, I don't know what it was. Actually, it's Bigfoot. Guys, did you see that? I think I should get out of here, right?
A figure seemed to shift briefly in the background. The shape remained behind the cactus for a short moment before disappearing from view. They were unable to clearly identify what they had seen. The family eventually left the area soon after. Some viewers say moments like this are sometimes reported near quiet rural homes, or even during nearby hiking and camping trips. But what do you think was moving behind that cactus? The yowie is described as a large human-like creature from Aboriginal folklore, often reported in remote areas of Australia. Dean Harrison of Australian Yowie Research says he has collected hundreds of reports over more than 20 years, many describing similar size, appearance, and loud calls. Recent stories include a woman in Queensland who said she was pushed during a bushwalk, and a truck driver who reported seeing a tall figure cross the road. Some say encounters like this are sometimes mentioned during hiking or camping trips in remote areas. But what do you think could be behind these reports? This video was uploaded to YouTube by Lego Cloneboy 321 on August 31st, 2011, and was filmed near Provo, Utah. The footage shows a large figure partly hidden by vegetation in a wooded area. According to the uploader, the group was not on a casual hike. They were conducting field activity and searching for Bigfoot when they noticed the figure. Bigfoot is often described as standing between 7 and 9 feet tall, and the shape in the video seems to fit that range. No updates were ever shared afterward. Some say sightings like this are sometimes reported during remote hiking or camping. But what do you think the figure really was? On October 30th, just before midnight, John Brown and his brother Ben recorded unusual thermal footage on their rural property in Grays Harbor County. What they captured was something they could not explain. The thermal image appears to show the head, shoulders, and upper chest of a figure. According to the brothers, the shape was standing on a steep hillside about 3 to 4 feet below their position. Their property is highly isolated, surrounded by dense forest, with the nearest neighbor roughly half a mile away. After reviewing the footage, size and shape analysis ruled out deer and cattle. Bears were also considered unlikely because none are known to live in that area. Later, the brothers found large footprints nearby and compared their size to a human. Using a reference pole, they estimated the figure to be about 4 feet wide and around 7 feet tall. Some viewers say strange sightings like this are sometimes reported during remote hiking or camping trips. But what do you think they actually recorded that night? In 2014, a group of children were playing in snowy woods near a treehouse, while one of them recorded a video. During the recording, a large dark figure briefly appeared between the trees, moving upright before disappearing. At first, the children thought it might have been a bear. Soon after, they filmed tracks in the snow nearby.
Okay, I'm here with...
The impressions were long and deep, shaped somewhat like bear tracks. Later, Bigfoot investigator Jack Barnes reviewed the footage using a nearby picnic table for scale and estimated the figure could be around 8 feet tall. Some say sightings like this happened during hiking or camping, but what do you think it was? Reddit user SasquatchBalls45 shared a video sent by a friend from a hunting lease near Honobia, Oklahoma. In the clip, a dark figure can be seen walking upright through the trees before disappearing. The person filming never saw it again. In forests used for hunting or camping, distance and shadows can sometimes make shapes look unusual. But what do you think the video shows? This short video was shared online by a hiker who claims it could be the clearest Bigfoot footage so far. The clip shows a large, dark, hair-covered figure sitting on a fallen tree in a dense forest. The figure appears calm and does not react to the camera. Visible features include long arms, a broad chest, thick fur, and a face that looks partly human and partly primate. The video was reportedly filmed near the Little River in Alabama, a remote area where people sometimes go hiking or camping. But what do you think was sitting on that tree? An Instagram page that shares Bigfoot content received a strange image from a viewer in Oakland National Forest. The photo came from a trail camera placed in the woods. It shows a large, furry figure standing behind a fallen tree. The shape appears upright and bulky, almost like an ape, though no wild apes live in Florida. The image quickly sparked debate. Some think it may be a person in a costume, while others are not sure. Some say sightings like this are sometimes reported during hiking or camping trips. But what do you think the camera captured? A man in British Columbia had recently bought a new phone with an infrared camera. While testing it, he began taking photos around his yard. One image quickly caught his attention. In the photo, a strange figure appeared in the background. The shape looked somewhat humanoid and seemed to be moving on all fours, but the image quality made it hard to identify. The photo was later shared online by a friend, but no other details were given. Some say moments like this are sometimes noticed near quiet homes or during nearby hiking and camping. But what do you think the camera captured that night? A man flew a drone over a quiet lake in northern Maine while searching for a fishing spot. Later that evening, while reviewing the footage, he noticed something unusual near the tree line. A tall, dark, fur-covered figure appeared to be walking upright on two legs. He later returned to the same location and filmed again, but the figure was gone. He shared the clip online, asking viewers what they thought it was. Some say it looks like a person in a Bigfoot suit. Others wonder why someone would be dressed like that in such a remote place where people sometimes go hiking or camping. But what do you think it was? In the 1980s, deep in the forests of Alberta, Canada, a lone camper noticed something moving in the distance and began recording. The short clip shows a large bipedal figure walking through the trees. The shape does not clearly resemble a person and does not match any known animal from the region. Some believe it could be Sasquatch, while others think it was just someone in a costume. What do you think that figure really was? A hunter placed a trail camera deep in the woods hoping to capture wildlife. One weekend, he returned to check the footage while preparing for his next trip into the backcountry. While reviewing the recording, he noticed something strange. A large, dark figure appeared walking upright through the trees. Surprised, he shared the clip online, asking viewers to help identify it. Some believe it might be Bigfoot, while others think it could be a prank. The hunter said the area was very remote, often used only for hiking or camping. But what do you think the camera recorded that day? During a snowstorm in Arizona, a woman named Rose recorded video from inside her car while driving near the White River above Roberts Ranch. The recording captured loud, unfamiliar sounds coming from outside the vehicle. The noises continued as she drove along a remote stretch of road. Even with wind and passing cars, the strange sounds were clearly heard. The area has previous reports of similar noises and sightings. What do you think was making those sounds? A Department of Transportation employee noticed something unusual in footage from a DOT webcam in eastern Washington. The camera was recording winter conditions at Sherman Pass, about 5,500 feet above sea level. In one frame, a dark figure appeared standing in the snow beneath a tree. The shape looked human-sized and completely dark, not like a shadow or debris. Some say sightings like this are sometimes reported in remote areas where people hike or go camping. But what do you think that figure in the snow was? This clip was shared on the Squatch is Real Instagram page. In the winter of 1969, residents of Bossburg, Washington discovered more than 1,000 large barefoot tracks after a heavy snowfall. The prints crossed fields, roads, and wooded areas, and were documented with photos and plaster casts. One foot looked normal, while the other showed a strong deformity that changed how it pressed into the snow. Some viewers think the tracks may have a simple explanation, while others believe the pattern is harder to dismiss. If you saw tracks like these in the snow, what would you think made them? This footage was reportedly recorded by a hiker in the Himalayan mountains. It shows a tall figure moving through deep snow in an open area. The clip was filmed in 1992 and later appeared in a Bigfoot documentary released in 1996, after which it spread online. Because the origin of the footage is unclear, many details remain unanswered. If you came across a figure like that in the snow, what would you think it was? In the summer of 1924, deep in the shadow of Mount St. Helens, 5 miners believed they were alone in the wilderness. Fred Beck and his crew had set up camp near a narrow gorge. Soon, something frightening happened. The men claimed they were attacked not by bears or bandits, but by large, hairy creatures. They described them as ape-like, nearly 7 feet tall with glowing eyes and massive feet. According to the miners, the creatures began throwing large rocks at their cabin, striking the walls and clawing at the door, as if trying to break inside. Trapped and frightened, the men fired their rifles into the darkness, hoping to scare them away. The encounter reportedly lasted for hours. By morning, the creatures had disappeared into the forest. The shaken miners abandoned their camp and left the mountain, later reporting what had happened. Local residents began calling the area Ape Canyon. Some believe the story, while skeptics suggest it may have been a hoax or confusion during a remote mining or camping trip. But what do you think really happened that night in Ape Canyon? During a hike through the forest, someone noticed something unusual and took a photo. Later, they uploaded a black and white version of the image to the Bigfoot subreddit. The photo appeared to show a dark shape standing behind a tree stump. Some viewers believed it might be Bigfoot, while others quickly dismissed it. Many later suggested the shape could simply be a shadow, a broken branch, or a trick of perspective in the trees. But when you first look at the picture, what do you think it shows? A hunter placed a trail camera in a forest during the fall season to capture wildlife. Later, while checking the footage, he noticed something unusual. The video shows 2 dark figures moving upright through the trees. Their outlines are visible, but no clear details can be seen. The camera stays fixed as the figures pass through the frame. Because of the poor clarity, the footage does not confirm what they are. What do you think the camera recorded? A trail camera placed deep in the forest was meant to capture local wildlife. Later, while reviewing the footage, the owner saw a deer calmly walking past the lens. But the deer wasn't alone. Behind it, a large hairy figure stood upright among the trees. The figure stayed mostly still, shifting slightly at one moment. In the background, what looked like a small structure made from arranged branches could also be seen. The scene made many viewers pause. If you were watching this trail camera footage yourself, what would you think you were seeing? A teenager was hiking alone in a remote forest in the United States when he heard movement ahead and began recording. The camera briefly captured a large primate-like figure moving low on all fours, appearing across the path in a few frames. The body looked bulky, with fur stretched tightly over it and what seemed like muscle movement underneath. The teenager quickly turned and ran, while the figure remained back in the trees. He never offered a clear explanation for what he believed he had seen. An Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife biologist named Dave discovered a footprint in Salmonberry River Canyon inside Tillamook State Forest on February 1st, 2025. The print measured about 10 to 12 inches long and roughly 5 to 6 inches wide. The track appeared human-shaped and was found in a remote winter area where no barefoot person was known to be present. The discovery followed earlier reports from the region, including sightings of tall figures, strange wood knocking, and unusual nighttime screams. Some think the print may have been misidentified, possibly shaped by melting snow or shifting ground. But if you found a track like that during a quiet hiking or camping trip, how would you explain it? In 1987, 16-year-old Teresa Ann Beyer from Fresno, California, disappeared during a camping trip in Ghost Canyon near Shut-Eye Peak in the Sierra Nevada. She had gone into the mountains with 43-year-old Russell Skip Welch, an older acquaintance she had been spending time with. A few days later, Welch returned alone. At first, he told police Teresa had simply run away. Later, his story changed, and he claimed she had been abducted by Bigfoot. When search teams reached the area, they found a campsite that seemed unusual. Some items looked staged, and there was no clear sign of where Teresa had gone. Despite extensive ground and air searches, no trace of her was ever found. A helicopter later spotted Welch's shirt in the area, and it tested positive for meth. Welch was charged with child stealing but was eventually released, and no further charges were filed. Over time, the case went cold. Many investigators believe Teresa likely met with foul play, and that the Bigfoot story may have been a distraction. Still, the case is sometimes discussed by people interested in wilderness mysteries and remote camping disappearances. Nearly 4 decades later, Teresa Ann Beyer has never been found. So what do you think really happened in Ghost Canyon? This video reportedly comes from a Facebook live stream recorded on a property in Batesville, Mississippi, and later shared on TikTok.
What the fuck is that? What is that? What kind of car is that? Look. Go get the pistol. Go look under the seat and get the gun. Look up under my seat. Look up under the pickup seat. Get the pistol. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that is, man. Oh my God. This is real, man.
During the stream, the camera captured a strange figure moving in the distance near the property. The person filming believed the figure was close to his home and reacted to what he was seeing. Some viewers think it could have been a person, an animal, or a trick of distance in a rural area where people hunt or go camping. But what do you think the camera captured? A homeowner received a motion alert from a Ring security camera late at night. When they checked the footage, a dark shape could be seen moving near the fence behind the house. Instead of the usual wildlife from the nearby woods, the shape came out of the trees in a low position and then rose higher as it moved closer to the camera. The figure appeared tall and somewhat humanoid inside the yard. The homeowner shared the clip online but could not identify it. What do you think it was? A man and his wife were driving along a forest road during the day when they encountered a fallen tree blocking most of the trail. They stopped briefly before continuing on. The wife took a quick photo of the scene. Later, after arriving at their cabin, they showed the picture to their family and noticed something unusual near the end of the fallen tree. A dark shape appeared hunched with broad shoulders and a rounded head just above the leaves. Looking closer, a second faint form seemed to be visible behind it, partly hidden by branches. Some people think shapes like this can happen because of shadows, angles, or pareidolia, especially in wooded areas where people hike or go camping. But when you look at the photo, what do you think those shapes really were? A man was reviewing footage from a trail camera placed deep in a forest when he noticed an unusual figure. The image showed a broad, heavy shape sitting low on the ground with its head bent forward. The shape did not clearly match any known animal from the area, but it also did not look fully human. Because the footage lacked detail, it was difficult to identify what it was. Some think it could be a person in bulky clothing, while others suggest lighting or camera angles caused the strange shape. A man and his son were driving to cut firewood when they saw something moving across a road on a distant ridge about 400 yards away. They slowed down, and the son grabbed a camcorder from the back seat. By the time the recording began, the figure had already crossed the road and moved behind a pile of rocks. Because of the distance, no clear details could be seen. The video shows the last moment before the figure disappeared into the woods. The clip was later posted online without claiming what it was. What do you think was moving on that ridge? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.